Hello everyone, my name is Leticia Guadalupe Argueta and welcome to my video presentation. Thank you for watching this video. We are going to explain one important part of my final project for the course English Didactics 1. In this video, I will explain one complete activity from my lesson plan. This lesson plan is designed for teenagers and adults from age 15 to 35, and the English level is A2, which means basic level but with some ability to communicate simple ideas. The topic of my lesson is healthy and unhealthy habits because it's a very practical topic for all the students, no matter their age. Everyone has a daily routine, everyone has healthy habits they want to keep, and everyone has unhealthy habits they want to change. So this topic is motivating and mindful. I want to share for this lesson I used the PPP method. It means a presentation, and the teacher explains the new vocabulary and structures. And practice stage, students do control activities like reading, matching, listening, or short exercise. Production stage. This is the final part where students use the language alone and express real information. In this video, I will focus on the production activity because this is the moment when students use the language independently. And this stage show me if students are really learning the topic and if they can communicate with the vocabulary and grammar from the lesson. So now I will begin explaining the objectives of my lesson plan, and then I will describe the activity step by step. Now, I will present the objectives of my lesson plan. Objectives are very important because they give direction to the class. They tell the teacher what a student must achieve at the end of the lesson. These objectives are SMART, which means specific and measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. First, I will explain the general objective. By the end of the 60-minute lesson, a student will describe at least three healthy habits using the simple present and one frequency adverb, with 80% accuracy in a short 2-minute oral routine with a partner. This objective is smart because it's specific, describe the three healthy habits, it's measurable, I can measure accuracy and the number of sentence, it's achievable, A2 students can do this with practice, it's relevant, it connects to real life and the class topic. It's time-based, it must happen by the end of the 60-minute class. Now, I will explain the specific objectives of the lesson. Specific objective 1, a student will identify 6 out of 8 healthy and unhealthy habits from the reading and listening activities with 75% accuracy during whole class checks. This objective focuses on recognition. It prepares the student for writing and speaking. A specific objective 2, a student will write 4 to 5 sentences about their own routine using the simple present and at least one frequency adverb, and then present them to a partner with 80% accuracy. This objective focuses on production and personal expressions. Students use a real information from their daily life. This objective connected with each other. First, students identify habits. Then, they use the habits to write. Finally, they use their writing to speak. This objective guide to enter lesson and help me evaluate learning clearly and fairly. I selected the production activity called my healthy routine because this is the moment when students finally use a new vocabulary and the grammar in a real personal way. In the previous part of the lesson, students only practice it in controlled situations like reading, matching, or short listening tasks. But in the production stage, they use their own ideas. They do not repeat after the teacher. They do not copy from the book. They create real sentences about their life, and this shows true communication. This activity is also important because it connected directly with the objectives of the lesson. The lesson objectives say the students need to describe healthy habits using the simple present and a frequency adverb. In this activity, they must do exactly that. They write 4 to 5 sentences and then speak with a partner. So this activity helped me confirm if the objective were achieved successfully. Another reason why I selected this activity is because it's a mindful for teenagers and adults. Everyone has a routine. Everyone has habits. Students enjoy talking about their real life, and this increases motivation and confidence. Finally, this activity gives me natural evidence for evaluation. I can listen in to students, check their sentence, observe their pronunciation, and see if they understand how to use the simple present correctly. Because of this reason, this activity is perfect for the production stage of my lesson. Purpose of the activity. The name of the activity is My Healthy Routine. This is the last activity of the lesson. The purpose of the activity is to help the students create real information about their daily lives using the simple present and one's frequency adverb. The activity also helps me evaluate if students learn the grammar and vocabulary from the reading and listening activities. In this activity, students need to 1. Write to 4 to 5 sentences. 2. Using the simple present correctly. 3. Use a frequency adverb like always, usually, sometimes, rarely, or never. 4. Mention at least 3 healthy habits. Share their routine with a partner for oral practice. This activity checks writing, speaking, and understanding of habits. Giving the prompt cards. The first step of the activity is to give each student 3 prompt cards. This card includes simple and clear questions related to daily routines and healthy habits. The questions are written in basic English so that A2 students can understand them easily. Some examples of the prompt cards are: how often do you exercise? Do you drink soda? What time do you wake up? How often do you eat vegetables? What do you usually do after work or school? What is an unhealthy habit you want to stop? These questions are very useful because they help students thinking about their real routine before they start writing. This is important at the A2 level. Many students feel nervous when they see a reading task, but when we give them questions, then immediately get ideas from their own life. The cards also help activate key vocabulary from the lesson. Students beginning to remember words like exercise, vegetable, water, soda, sleep early, and many other habits. This prepares their mind for the next step, which is writing. When I give the cards, I also repeat the instruction slowly. I say, please read you 3 cards, thinking about your answers. You will use these ideas to write your sentence. I wait a few seconds. Students have to time to understand and focus. This step is important because it creates a smooth transition from control practice to real communication. It also supports students who need ideas or who take longer to think. By the time students finish reading their prompt cards, they already had personal information ready for writing. Step 2. Teacher model. In the second step, I show 2 model sentences on the board. These sentences are simple examples that help the student understand exactly what they need to read. The 2 model sentences are: I usually drink water in the morning. I never drink soda. First, I read each sentence slowly, then I underline the frequency adverb, which in the case is usually and never. I explained that frequency adverb tell us how often we do something. For example, usually means many times and never means 0 times. After that, I give a short explanation of the simple present structure. I reminding them that with I we use the base verb like I drink, I eat, I walk. I also give one extra quick example such as sometimes I eat fruit after lunch. This modeling step is very important because many A2 students feel nervous when they need to write their own sentence. But when they see a clear model on the board, they understand the partner, they feel more comfortable and more confident to write their ideas. The example sentences also give inspiration, and students start thinking, what do you I usually do? What do I never do? This helps them prepare their own writing for the next step. Step 3, individual writing. In step 3, students write their sentence. They need to 4 to 5 sentences. I tell them use the simple present, use one frequency adverb, write real habits. While they write, I walk around and give support. For example, I help them correct things like he drinks water. He drinks water. I never eat fruit. I never eat fruit. She sometimes goes. She sometimes goes. This part is calm and quiet. Students think about their lives and write short but meaningful ideas. Step 4. Pair sharing. After writing, students work with a partner. They read their sentence to each other. They use a small checklist with 5 questions. Did they write 4 to 5 sentences? Did they use the simple present correctly? Did they use a frequency adverb? Did they mention 3 healthy habits? Did they speak clearly? Students give small comments like good job, check this bear, or you need one more healthy habit. Their feedback helps them learn from each other. Step 5. Volunteers share. To finish the activity, I ask for volunteers. 2 or 3 students read their routines to the whole class. This part helps me evaluate pronunciation, fluency, and confidence. I get positive comments like great pronunciation, nice use of usually, good structure, very clear sentence. This makes a student feel motivated and improve. This activity is part of the production stage in the PPP method. In this stage, students use the language freely and independently. They do not repeat after the teacher and they do not copy from the book. Instead, they create their own sentence, their own opinions, and their own ideas. This stage helps students show real communication and real learning because they use the language in a natural and personal way. They do not repeat after the teacher, they do not copy the book, they use their own ideas. This shows real communication and real learning. Communicative approach or CLT. This activity also follows the communicative language teaching approach or CLT. In this approach, students use English to talk about real life. They share information that is true for them. They speak with a real purpose, describing their habits and daily routines. This makes the activity more natural and meaningful. It also helps students feel more confident when speaking in English in real situations. This activity works well for teenagers because it's simple, personal, and active. Teenagers like talking about themselves and they enjoy activities that include movement, writing, and speaking with a partner. The topic of healthy habits is also familiar to them, so they can participate easily. It also works for adults because it's practical and connect to real life. Adults usually thinking about health, stress, and routines. So writing and speaking about their habits feels useful and meaningful. They see a clear purpose in the activity. Another reason this activity works for both groups is because the language level is appropriate. A2. Students can use the simple present and frequency adverb without feeling confused. They can create a short real sentence in a comfortable way. So overall, this activity is effective for teenagers and adults because it matches their interests, their needs, and their level of English. Assessment. For evaluation, use the Annex A checklist. I check if students use a simple present correctly, use a frequency adverb, mention at least 3 healthy habits, write 4 to 5 complete sentences, speak clearly when sharing with a partner. I also take notes from the 3 pairs as evidence. Final reflection. In this course, I learned many important skills for becoming a future English teacher. First, the PPP method helped me understand how to organize a clear and effective lesson. I learned how to introduce a topic, how to guide students, and how to help them produce language independently. Second, I learned how to work with 2 different age groups, teenagers and adults, and also kids. Teenagers need fast, fun, dynamic activities. Adults prefer slow, clear, and practical activities. This helped me create balanced lesson. Third, I learned how to integrate the 4 skills: reading, listening, speaking, and writing. The reading about Anna and the listening about Charles prepared students for the final speaking task. Fourth, I learned how movement and interaction help the students learn better. Activities like TPR and the gallery walk keep students active and focused. Finally, creating assessment tools like a checklist help me evaluate learning in a clear and fair way. I feel more confident preparing activities that show real communication. This course helped me grow as a teacher, and I will continue improving my materials and my lesson planning. Thank you.